folks, oh my goodness, welcome back to episode
16.
16, episode number 16 of the Armchair Warriors podcast. After the boys took what feels like a year-long hiatus, it's been a month I think probably about a month to the day. It's getting pretty close. We are back with an episode full of anything and everything you can think of because we've been gone for so long. But without further ado, I want to talk about our interviewee, Mr. Ollie Josephson, who was a gold medalist just over this past week. We'll put a timestamp in the description to tell you guys when and where that interview is, so you don't have to listen to us ramble on about nonsense like how I'm going to go on a Kings rant. It's going to be bad. But nonetheless, Luke, it feels good to be back, and that interview was really fun. We just did it not that long ago. Fire me up. What are we going to start with?
Okay, we're starting. Canada has had a ton of success over the last little bit. Like, we're talking Canada's almost gold across the map at this point. We're getting real close, other than the World Juniors screwing that up. But one of the most recent wins, like we said, Ollie was on that U18 World Championship squad, brought home gold. That's where we're going to start. Canada won versus that cracked States team. Like, you want to talk about how good that States team was?
Stunner. When you look at that tournament, it always goes to like the States brings their best guys, and it's never a knock on Canada because Canada's just always so good. But like when you look kind of across the board, like no Berkeley Cadden, no Caden Lindstrom, Celebrini could have played there. He's not there. Like there are
missing
guys
Perek and Dickinson.
Like exactly. Like there are top 15 picks that did not go, and they still came out on top against the States' best team. I don't know about you, but Canada hockey might be back.
I was a huge fan of, looking forward to this group moving into the World Juniors, hopefully being able to, like, you add some of these 06s to that really strong 05 group that Canada has that won. Did they win Hlinka too, that 05 group? If not, they did. That team was gross. That team was awesome. Yeah,
so like junior was supposed to be good.
Yeah, like so you had the 05 Hlinka winners and the 06 Hlinka winners plus an 06 World Championship. Like they're going to have, the States are going to come with a vengeance in those World Juniors.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute slugfest. But when we talk about the World Championships, there really wasn't much of a pushback from any of the European teams, which I thought was not surprising, but like it just felt like there really wasn't much of a competition when you were like, this is going to be States Canada.
Yeah, I agree. Like it was, not that I don't know the European prospects, obviously. Like that's a young group, and this is kind of the first look that most people in North America really get at them. But for them to go and, really almost right from the get-go kind of expect a Canada-US final, it's a little rare. There wasn't a ton of pushback. Canada did almost sell in the semis. Like they almost sold to Sweden. But other than that, the top 10 leaderboard for points was almost all Canadians and Americans, which kind of brings me to the next point is let's talk about some standouts. 07 Gavin McKenna was unbelievable.
Don't even get me started on that guy. He is mind-blowing constantly. He is so smart watching him play hockey. It's actually crazy. I don't know how you can be so mature at the age of what? He's 17, 16?
I don't even know if he's 17 yet because he's a late 07, so he's probably still 16.
Yeah, he is. He's 16 years old, and he just was dominant. And then you kind of look at the States team. James Higgins broke Kucherov's point record. He's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
There's lots of promise.
Higgins isn't draft eligible. Well, so McKenna's not draft eligible for 2 more years. Higgins isn't draft eligible for another year. He's a late 06, and he's looking disgusting. But it was a lot of guys that weren't eligible this year that kind of dominated that tournament. Even when you look at the rest of Canada's top line, Porter Martone is also a late 06. He's not draft eligible till next year.
Yep.
And it was pretty incredible. Those two guys really stood out for me. It was Martone and McKenna. They were unbelievable for Canada. Their chemistry off the bat for never having, I don't think they've ever played together.
Yep.
And their chemistry off the bat, they were doing some ridiculous things. We've talked about it a ton in our house with McKenna. just being able to go watch him in Medhat and seeing what their team's building towards with Lindstrom and Murisic and Bashaw and now the Ruck twins coming up. And they just, I mean, we'll talk about that in another episode, kind of what they've just done over the last week to trade. But yeah, they got some special things coming in Medhat, and McKenna's one heck of a player.
Yeah, U18s was so sick this year. Like there was guys left and right that you could just sit there and watch, and it was incredible. So there's a lot of promise coming for both nations here. We did kind of want to touch on, which is one of the weirder players, I guess you could say, when it comes over to the last few years. But Cole Yzerman was kind of a guy that you seen when he was younger, who was like, he's a lock to go top 5 in his draft year. And he's, I don't even know how to explain it, but he's just hasn't produced in a way of like he scores a lot of goals. And it's actually insane how well he puts the puck in the back of the net. I think he broke the NTDP record of goal scoring, but he just hasn't translated into a player of substance, really. Like he's so one-dimensional but I just kind of want to get your opinion on how he's kind of progressed throughout the years.
I think you kind of worded it perfect. Is that's where he's at right now? Is he's one dimensional, and I think a lot of scouts realize that, because I know last year when they were talking about Celebrini and Yzerman going 1-2, and Yzerman was even pushing Celebrini as going in that one spot, but then of course Celebrini goes to World Jays and really cements his spot that he can compete with those guys and dominate at that level. Yeah. But yeah, Yzerman's just turned into a really one-dimensional player. He's scored a ton when he was looking at, like, he was in the top 10 in scoring at the U18s, but he wasn't. This was the stat that impressed me a lot. I'm rambling off the top of my head, but kind of at the end of prelims, the other Americans in that top 10 were all over plus 10 in like plus minus on the ice, right? And I'm pretty sure that Yzerman was only sitting around that +2, +3 mark, which, I mean, he's playing on a line with these guys. How you end up -7 more than the guys you're playing with, I think that's starting to concern scouts, and it's it's a flight risk now. Now, you could develop him, and he could turn into an elite goal scorer, because a lot of people think he's the best goal scorer in this draft coming up. But it's something about his defensive game that a lot of guys can't tell if it's just lazy, if it's, I don't know. He'll be interesting to see. He's been a weird player, but he'll be interesting to see over the next couple of years and see how he turns out, I guess. And interesting to see where he goes in the draft, what value they put on that goal scoring.
Yeah, are we gonna see an American Patrick Laine? Like, I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I think you kind of touched on it all. Plus minus is, I may be starting to become a little bit of an overrated stat, but I agree though in that sense, like being -7 compared to the guys you're playing with is a little bit wild in that
and
regard.
Being at the same points, like you're not that many points off.
Sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but he's probably going to be a bit of a project with whoever takes him. It's seemingly going to be a mid first round pick. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see it. Like you said, again, he's just a purebred goal scorer, but at the end of the day, he doesn't do much else. So, I mean, whoever gets him, it's going to be a bit of a project. But nonetheless, we don't have to harp on the kid anymore. He's a very impressive young talent. So we're excited to watch and see where he goes as his career progresses. But we don't have to talk about U18s anymore. Where should we go now with our discussions? I mean,
the hockey that's been on our TVs every night for the last 3 weeks that we haven't been recording because we, us being us, we took our hiatus and boo us. But I mean, we're here now. We're going to talk about it. First round, we're not going to talk about a ton, just a couple things, just two series. That's all we're covering in the first round in the West. First, before Dillon gets his Kings rant, we're going to talk about Vegas losing.
What a slugfest. That was 7 games of hockey where I watched every single one, and I loved every bit of it. And it was awesome to see the Golden Knights lose.
Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Like, you were hoping that, because Dallas had a chance to, if I'm not wrong, Dallas had a chance to win in Game 6, right?
I think
they weren't coming from behind. And when Dallas lost, I got nervous. I really wanted Vegas to lose too. As much as I defend them for using the cap to their advantage.
Oh yeah.
I won't harp on them for it. But man, did it feel good to watch them go out, especially to a team like Dallas with so many guys
Yeah.
that haven't won a cup and have been in the league for so long. If there's a team that I want to see win that isn't a Canadian team, for me it's Dallas.
Yeah. Dallas
But
is so likable. So
yeah,
likable.
and to have a young guy like Wyatt Johnston on there just producing, and Logan Stankoven out of the dub producing, and I've been a huge Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin fan for a long time, and
Somebody get Pavelski his damn Stanley Cup. I don't care if he was a Sharks guy. Somebody get that guy. I love watching him tip pucks in the back of the net. He deserves a ring.
yeah, I agree, and I think if a Canadian team's not going to win, because I really don't want to shave my head, that I would love to see Dallas win. I'd like to see them come out of the West if Vancouver or Edmonton doesn't. But yeah, happy to see Vegas out. Without further ado, the Edmonton Oilers moved on, and Dillon's got quite some opinions on this series.
You know, I could be here for a really long time. You should probably only give me 2 minutes and then cut me off. But nonetheless, the Edmonton Oilers are a very good hockey team. But the Los Angeles Kings made them look like God's gift to hockey, and it was a horribly hard watch. Edmonton is so dynamic, and that was the Kings' entire focus in the season was to have a better penalty kill. They were the number 2 penalty kill in the league, and they looked like my Pee Wee Double A penalty kill from however long ago. They just got walked around. It was so frustrating. They were soft in all 3 zones. They couldn't produce anything. It was mind blowing. The Kings were so bad in this series. It looked like they prepared for maybe 2 days, not an entire NHL season. So, nonetheless, I don't know what they're going to do next year. Um, they have young talent in Quentin Byfield and Brant Clark. Akil Thomas is going to come in on the bottom 6. Fiala is there for a lot longer. Kempe. I mean, they have all the pieces, but they dished out a pretty big contract, and I don't know what they're going to do in that regard. So, nonetheless, the Edmonton Oilers are a very good hockey team, and I hate them with all my heart, but very good. And I really hope the Nucks go on to the 3rd round. Without further ado, though, I don't need to sit here and talk any longer because, like I said, I could go longer, and I'm not going to do that. But let's go to the 2nd round because that is under.
Hold the phone before we go to
Oh,
the second round. I just want to rub a few stats in that the Oilers' power play was north of 45% in that King series.
I thought it was north of 50, quite
No,
frankly.
no,
So,
because I was amazed it was right under 50. It was right
okay,
under 50, and they got to 50 in the Van series. I don't know what it's at right now. The game's on right now. Game 4?
4.
Game 4 is on right now. And yeah, that power play has just been ridiculous. And I was really happy to see the Kings lose. It takes a lot out of me to cheer for the Oilers,
Yeah.
but it's tough to cheer for the Oilers. But man, did it feel good cheering for them against the Kings. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wasn't even disappointed because I knew what the outcome was going to be, but it was like just turning it on every night and going like I have a little bit of hope even though my brain says it, but my heart's like I want to have hope. Yeah. They tied it 1-1 in Edmonton and I was like, "Oop." And then it was it was downhill from there, but yeah, they're so good. It's mind-blowing how good they are.
How good their top line is. That takes me to the second round. Their bottom 6 has been miserable.
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. When we're recording this, it is 2-0 Edmonton
Yeah.
in the second intermission, first intermission,
Yeah. Second.
second intermission
Yeah.
in game 4, and Edmonton is down 2-1 at the current moment. So this is their chance to tie it up, but they haven't gotten anything from their bottom 6 through the first 3 games.
You scored the tie goal or the second goal.
Yeah. Nuge scored, and that's the first goal that's come. That's the first goal that's come off of. Oh, that wasn't McDavid or Draisaitl, like that line, and Hyman or that power play.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been and that was kind of the whole MO in the first round was they just roll 4 lines and beat the Kings up constantly. Now Van has thrown 4 lines at them and has just played bully ball for 3 games straight.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've got a bit of a pushback, a little bit of a wake-up call with Calvin Pickard finding his way to the crease. So the Oil came to play this evening and look out Vancouver.
Yeah, and Jayce would call me a criminal if I didn't mention that Stuart Skinner has by far the worst save percentage in the playoffs so far among the 8 remaining goalies. And I think one of the worst save percentages in the salary cap era in the playoffs with goalies over 15 games. Quite possibly the worst was one of the stats I saw. Oh, yeah. Here you go, Dome.
If I'm talking not you specifically, but you, anybody in the world, ever put Stuart Skinner on a projected Canadian roster again, I will berate you as a human being. If that guy ever puts on the Maple Leaf, I'm never watching hockey again. Thank you.
Jayce was going nuts behind the camera here. He is just so happy. Yeah, he's thrilled. And yeah, I hate to say it because I was banking on him backstopping them to a cup.
It's over. It's
and
the Stuart Skinner insanity run over.
Yeah. Do you know who's going to save him?
Who?
Soup. If Calvin Pickard doesn't, give me give me the Soup, man. He's taking us to the finals.
Okay.
I think.
Did you just say us? Oh my god.
Yeah.
This guy's gone loony.
Yep. Yep. No. Okay, here's my thought process. Vancouver doesn't stand a chance against Dallas.
No, none of these teams do.
No. Edmonton has a better chance against Dallas than Vancouver does, in my opinion.
No.
Excuse me, Demko was probably. There's a chance Demko
Oh.
next season or series.
Jayce brings up a great point.
Edmonton has looked like half the team they have in prior years against Vancouver. I think Vancouver's playing the right hockey, though. I think they game plan most teams pretty well.
Yeah, see, but Vancouver was just so. I'm really scared because Vancouver was so mid versus Nashville. They should have walked that series.
I thought Nashville was like if they don't hit the post there, like there's a game 7 in Vancouver.
Yep. Oh, I was terrified, and yeah, if Vancouver got eliminated, all I'm sitting on is the Oilers. That's all I have left in my bet, and that would terrify me with all of my heart.
Yeah, dude.
Anyways, I'm hoping Edmonton moves on. I think that if they can make it past this series, that they can figure it out and turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a little bit of faith that I think the Oilers at their peak, that if they do turn it around, I think they're better. If Demko comes back and plays like he can play, very different story.
Yeah.
But we won't know until the next couple weeks once kind of see who moves on and whether he's ready to go by game 6 or 7. So, but
the key to the Oilers kind of crawling back into this is letting 4 lines roll. I mean, you see McDavid was logging like almost 30 minutes in game 3. Like
I think he got north of 30.
Yeah, I think it might have just been a little less. I think it was like 29:45 or something dumb.
Yeah. Having a forward log that many minutes is unbelievable.
Too many. Way too many minutes. So
yeah.
I think you got to let your guys roll and got to have a little bit more faith in them. Obviously, you kind of need, if you are down in the third, you're going to need McDavid to log more minutes. And if he's already at 20-plus minutes going into the third, it's going to be an issue.
That was a couple comments when I was watching with my dad, is that he said that you look at them, they look dead come the end of the third because they had to ride him in the third, which I get, but you had already rode him too hard for the rest of the game, right? Like he's not going to have that gas and that last minute push, those last 3-minute push. I don't even know if they left the ice. They tried to pull that little goalie switch to get him a free timeout almost. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
A little bit of trickery.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Edmonton wins. I don't know. I don't know where to go with it. I just need one of them to make it to the Cup final.
It's looking pretty bleak for your Canadian teams, though, I gotta admit.
Yeah, and they got to go through Dallas or Colorado.
You got to go through the Central, and they got some dogs out in the Central. So
yeah, let's talk about that series. You dive right into it and just kind of thoughts on the series so far.
The Stars are awesome, and they do not go away. After they blew the game 1, and I was like, oh, like Colorado doesn't go away, I should say. That team just absolutely scratches and claws constantly, and it blows my mind. But they're now dealing a little bit with the injury bug and the NHL PA assistance program. Their leading scorer has now made his way out. I think Taze was out. I think.
Yeah, they had Sean Walker on the top pair with Cale Makar.
Yeah, like they're battling right now. So a credit to Colorado. They're a good squad. This year they've kind of had to jump over some hurdles, and I don't know if it's their year, unfortunately. The Stars, though, the Stars are a team, and Jake Ottinger is a playoff performer. We've seen it in years prior, and he's continued to be pretty solid this year. They have 4 lines that they can just roll. Their decor is so heavy. It's mind-boggling. They can score at will too. They know how to control a game, and they're very, very well coached. So if I had to pick a cup favorite, I'm rolling with the boys in Texas.
Yeah, I fully agree that I think just having those guys that have the experience but also haven't won and are driving for that and have been in the league and now like this is probably they're looking at their last shots at this.
Yeah, those older boys, it's going to be it. They're getting close.
Yeah, so I agree that I think Dallas is just deep all the way through. You look at that Tanev pickup, just I mean, and even for Johnston to develop the way he has, for Stankoven to develop the way he has, for those value picks, like hats off to Dallas's drafting team for them to get them to this point. Because their value picks, like, well, they were a half decent team and they were still making value picks that have turned into good players.
Yeah, like they were picking like outside of the top 20, and then you get Wyatt Johnston, you get Jake Ottinger, you get Stankoven in the second. You get guys like that. Now you're getting top 6 guys in the second round and having an A1 goalie. Like their drafting department, their development department, they're doing it right in Dallas, and to see teams do it like that and see them develop guys, it's pretty impressive while still being a perennial contender.
Yeah. And it's nice to see them develop, right? Like a lot of teams you hear a ton of the stories. Oh, this guy's development was screwed up. This guy's development was screwed up. Yeah. To see teams successfully do it and realize that is still possible.
Yeah.
Is good to see amongst the NHL especially for years future and encouraging for a lot of the younger guys going into the draft.
Yeah, it's almost like you hear more stories about how teams mess up development rather than actually get it right. And so hats off to teams that do it right. So good for Dallas. They've just been doing it for years, man. So I'm excited to see them kind of duke it out with Colorado. Not really that it's much of a fight right now. I mean, but they're up 3-1, headed back to Dallas. So
hopefully they close out in Dallas or maybe actually no, for my sake, hopefully Colorado takes them to 7 because I kind of need them to.
You need a tired Dallas team here in the Western Conference Final.
Yeah, otherwise I am screwed. But yeah, whatever. I made it. I made it long enough that I'm okay with shaving my head now, and I've accepted it. I've come to terms.
You put up a fight, dude. You really did.
Yeah. My mother hasn't. Anything from here on out, I'm just a happy guy. If a Canadian team does win, boy, will I be thrilled.
Yeah.
I will be taking suggestions, too, on what to give Dillon for a haircut because, I gotta get creative, and I think that there are other people that have a lot better ideas than I do.
I hate to say it, man, but it's not going to be me.
Let me hold on to my hope, Dillon.
Hold on hope.
Anyways, let's move out east. I mean, the East is looking... The Canes are fighting back. Let's start there. Canes in 7. This is craziness. I don't think they get her done.
They probably don't, but I mean, you see games 4 and 5, and like you watch the Rangers just coast into a 1-goal lead into the third, lose 4-1. Right? It looks like they're kind of getting back to the old Ranger way of just taking the foot off the gas, and they just can't get the job done. So
that Rangers team is so good, though. But that being said, Carolina didn't look like themselves for that first round. No, and it looks like it's taken them a while to get into the swing. And you're right; those last 2 games, even the game before, Shesterkin kind of stole. And like it's
yeah, oh yeah.
They're starting to look like a team that they were supposed to be heading into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that one's just a fun one to watch. I really don't have a ton else to say about that one other than like tune in when you get the chance because that's a fun series.
Yeah. I mean, both of the barns too. Like you could watch when they're in Raleigh and then you could watch at MSG. Like, holy smokes, it feels like your house is going to come down listening to it through the TV. So, yeah, if you want to watch some good hockey, watch the Canes and Rangers play because those are two absolute powerhouses out east.
Yeah, very impressive for those guys. Last series that we're going to touch on for the NHL playoffs as of right now. What do you want to say about this one, Dillon?
Mid. So bad. There's nothing about this series that I've enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of tenacity. I loved seeing Pasta go to Montgomery for the nod.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. There was one really cool part about that series. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Pasta was in a big heated battle, not a fight, in a battle with Kachuk. I'm assuming Kachuk asked to go him. Pasta, being the star that he is, obviously you don't want him sitting in the box for 5 minutes, but game 6-1, he goes to the bench, camera catches it all, he goes up to good old Jim and lets him know, he's like, hey, can I go at him? And you just see a nice little head nod from old coach. Next shift, they step off the bench, gloves are gone, do the dance, and go at it. And I mean, I think you can tell Pasta's not really a distinguished fighter because it was one of the most out of control, like swinging arms, just doing, like, it was craziness.
Don't know if he actually they did throw some good punches. When the refs jumped in and they had to pull each other off and Kachuk hit him with one and knocked his helmet off, and then the refs were pulling apart and Pasta jumps over the ref pile and tries to feed him more punches. Dude, it was awesome. But,
Yeah, those two hated each other.
Oh, they hate each other. But then again, we got to get back to it. Worst second round series we've had, and we've had some really good ones, but this one just really hasn't done anything for me, quite frankly. They both play a pretty boring style of hockey, I guess. You comparatively, obviously.
Yeah, when you look at them compared to that Dallas-Colorado series, which has just been super impressive, and to see the Rags and Canes go at it the way that they have. I mean, Van Edmonton has been I think Van Edmonton's been a little underwhelming too. Yeah. But again, comparing them to two great series in the one West and the one East one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Boston got a win tonight, so at least they're making a bit of a push.
Yep.
But I still don't. I agree with you that I don't think that's not the best one in the playoffs. But I hope Florida moves on. I think Florida gives whatever team comes out of that Rangers-Canes series a good run and hopefully tires them out for when one of my Pacific teams makes it to the Cup.
Yeah. You betcha, buddy.
Anyways, Dillon, do you want to do court now or do you want to do court after the interview?
Are you boys ready for court?
Nope. We're going to do it after. We're going to take some prep time. We got a good guest for you coming up. Dillon, take it away.
Folks, after a long 4-week break, I guess you could say. I totally screwed this up. Damn. After a long 4 weeks, we left you out on quite the bang with Berkeley Catton. And we have brought another bang in Ollie Josephson, who is a two-time gold medalist. Without further ado, me and Luke are sitting in with Ollie.
Our next guest, freshly off winning a gold medal at the U18 World Championships in Finland. He's an NHL prospect in the upcoming NHL Draft. Welcome to the pod, Ollie Josephson.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We'll hop right into it. I mean, first things first, you guys just got a gold medal out in Finland. You want to talk a little bit about the experience going undefeated?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously awesome to be a part of Team Canada. Win the gold was an honor for sure. We had a little scare in pre-tournament. We almost lost to Norway there, but other than that, it was pretty good. Crazy game end against US to finish it off, but overall unreal experience. Great guys, team, and awesome experience.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me jump in. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I do want to jump in. You did talk about the Americans. So usually at this tournament, they send their best boys, and Canada's still in like their playoffs and whatnot. So what was it like going up against like their stacked squad?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they got some sick players like Haggins and Eisman, like crazy skill on that team, which was cool. I mean, in the summer when I played for Olympia, it was cool to play US, but we didn't get to play their top dogs. So getting to play them and getting a feel for US's players and prospects was definitely pretty cool. And yeah, it was awesome to beat them. That was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, and I got one more about the U18s before we kind of move on. I mean, I know it's a sick experience, but what was it like playing for Gardner McDougall? I mean, he's just been a dog this year, and what was he kind of like to have as a coach?
Yeah, I never had before, really. He's unique for sure. He's got a different energy about him, which works. I mean, he won 60 games in a row this year, something crazy like that. So, yeah, I really enjoyed him. He's a great guy, great coach, and I imagine he's going to get all the job offers now after that year he just had. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think that he just saw he's going to Moncton, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, joining in the queue after coaching St. John's to a member 2 years ago, I think that was. And sorry, I did have one more question. What was kind of the celebration like in Finland once you guys won?
Yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. We had to be back at the airport for 2 a.m. I think we got back to the hotel for like 11:30 maybe. So pretty quick turnaround. I kind of just hung out in the room with Raj for a bit, just packing up our stuff. But yeah, pretty quick turnaround. Not much of a celebration. I celebrated them for sure. All the boys just soaking it in, but yeah, not much.
So you boys have had some fun internationally, and I kind of want to touch on the Olympia tournament. What was that kind of like? We've talked to a few boys that went there, but like, what's that like for yourself?
Yeah, that was really cool. That was my first taste of like international hockey. I didn't get to play on the U17s when I was 16. I was hurt, so that was really cool. It was really special for me just to put on the jersey, and we also had a really good team there. Had a tough first game against Finland, but after that we picked it up, and yeah, that was a good team. I really enjoyed that. Had some great players. Burke was unreal in that journey, by the way. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, he had one heck of a tournament at that tournament. And
Yeah.
sticking with talking about how stacked that team was, you played against and with a lot of those guys in that CHL Top Prospects game. Do you want to kind of talk about what that process was like, getting picked for that and going through the combine that's there?
Yeah, that was really cool. I was pretty nervous about if I was going to get the invite or not, but I ended up getting it, so that was awesome to see. Being there was an absolute bag of a flight for just one game. I think it was 5.5 hours or something like that, something crazy. But no, when I was there, it was awesome. The meals were unreal, unreal. But yeah, like the game, super cool, it was packed, sold out in a huge ring. Moncton has some of the best facilities I've ever seen. So yeah, it was a super cool experience. The combine testing was a little weird. You don't get too much warm ups. You're kind of just straight to like a 30-meter sprint, and your hips aren't really going or anything. So that part was tough, but I enjoyed it. It was good.
So we talk about the CHL Top Prospect. You play in the respective league of the WHL. You guys had a pretty solid year in Red Deer, and then you run into Saskatoon in the second round after knocking off Medhat. What was it like going up against a team that was so highly touted throughout Canada?
Yeah, I mean they got some sick players. I mean, start off and Wong, those two are pretty electric together, and then like on the back, he's probably the best skater I've ever played against. So they got some sick players for sure. I mean, we ran into some goalie trouble when Bucky and Stolzer got hurt, so that was a bit of a dagger for sure. But yeah, I mean, unreal team over there, and yeah, they deserve to outplay us for sure. Would have liked to go further, but yeah, I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, you guys will be back and stronger next year. And that's a tough experience for your guys as young goalie that had to come in and play his first ever WHL game against Saskatoon when they're that stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Finished up your WHL season though in U18s. Not really a whole lot. I mean, there's the combine, but not a whole lot more before the draft. What's your experience been like kind of prepping for the draft throughout this year?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, you just try to take it day by day. Sometimes it can get a bit much with the meetings or whatever, but yeah, just try to soak it all in. It only happens once your draft experience. So yeah, just taking it day by day has helped me a bunch. But yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the combine and hopefully getting drafted.
Are you headed to Vegas for the draft?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I was gonna talk to some guys, see if they're going, and make a decision soon.
Now, the draft's around the corner. We just touched on it. What was the main goal or focus kind of coming into this year? Obviously, draft year is a big year for most guys coming playing in major, junior, and kind of all across the globe. But what was the main focus to kind of set your game over the edge and continue to be a big piece in Red Deer?
Yeah, I think just in Red Deer in general, they like a two-way game. They like guys who can play the defensive side too. So try to pride myself on that, being good all around. I don't put up crazy point totals, but try to be good everywhere. So I think I fit in well with Red Deer. They like a two-way game. I like a two-way game. So I think it's a big part for me, and yeah, it's a big part of my game.
Yeah, you touched on it that the penalty kill is a big part of your game, and I know from the guys that I've watched, you're definitely one of the best killers in the league. But you get to go up against the top power plays every night, and who would you say is the toughest power play you faced this year?
Oh, it's got to be Moose Jaw for sure. I mean, me and Briggs, we PK together. Briggs. So we always go into it, and we got to just be so dialed in for them not to score. It's insane. Everything's got to be perfect because they snap around like crazy and they got wicked shots. So I'd say they're the hardest to go against for sure.
Now you bring up Talon, and you two are penalty killing together. When we had him on, he gave you the McDavid comparison. What does that feel?
I
that's
heard
a
that.
big name to throw around.
Yeah. He's just pulling that out. I don't know where that's from, but no, he's a great guy, and I love playing with him. Love him as a guy, and we've come really close over the past few years, and I'm excited for the next couple with him. It should be good.
Yeah, you guys are a nightmare for a lot of power plays in this league. It's pretty impressive for sure. I kind of want to stray away just for a little bit from the WHL, and coming out of your second year bantam, you decided to play in the minor hockey systems for your first year midget instead of going back to the academies. What kind of influenced your decision there?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly the coaching. It was Clayton Stoner who had played in the NHL for a while, had a really good career there. Mike Stutzel played a little bit there too. So it was mostly coaching, the development. I thought would be best for me to get me ready for the next year or two or whatever it was. But yeah, I just say the development I thought was a better option for me. And I think it was good. I really enjoyed my time there. So yeah, I was happy with my decision.
Now we can come back to some more serious hockey discussions, but before this one gets taken right from out of my hands again, I'm going to ask this question before Luke steals it from me. But what was your favorite stick kind of growing up, or like in recent years? What was the stick that like you reminisce about or something you can think of?
Yeah, mine was the CCM Super Tex. McDavid had it all the time, and I loved watching him. So I'd always try to grab that one off the shelf. I don't know. I don't even know if it worked for me. I just liked how it looked because McDavid had it. So I always try to grab that one.
I see where the comp comes from.
Yeah.
No kidding. That's really all you care about when you're younger is kind of making sure you look good, right? You look good, play good.
Exactly. That's what it's about.
Yeah. So Dylan took the stick question, I guess, but we'll stay on the lighter side of things. What are your kind of hobbies during the summertime? What are you doing to keep busy when you get your break?
Yeah, I like to golf and fish. I'm not very good at either, but I like to get out and do those. Just hanging out with buddies. Playing spike ball at the beach is a big one lately. I've been going out with my friends after school. So, yeah, I just like to hang out with friends, and yeah, that's about it.
Now, I mean, everybody says they're not good at golf, but like, what's the handicap looking like? That really tells the whole story.
Bad.
Oh no,
it's not. I don't even know what it is. Half the time, I don't keep score because I'm so bad. No. Usually, just play scramble and take my buddy's ball. So that's what it ends up being.
Make a couple putts here and there. You can be on one of the areas.
Yeah. Anybody you want to shout out as your go-to scramble partner? Who's kind of the one that you're clicking with when you're golfing?
Yeah, I mean, in Victoria, I play with Ty Halliburton. He plays for Vancouver. We're good buddies together. Neither of us are good, but he's a lot better than I am, so I'll it's a shot a lot.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to have a guy that you can click with on the course, and you don't both have to be good. I know I'm not when I golf with my buddies, and I got Jayce here, and we're both terrible, but I'm pretty sure we can beat whoever Dillon plays with in a scramble because that's just
Oh, okay. We'll put that to the test in the fall. You better put your money where your mouth is, young man.
yeah, we will. We'll test that one out. But you talked about playing with Halliburton and a lot of the other guys that you've seen. Who's one of the funniest guys you've run into kind of throughout your career?
Ooh, that's tough. We had quite a few funny guys this year. When I was 15, there was Blake Dawson and Dallin Moline were a pretty crazy duo. They were always making the room laugh. So yeah, I'd go with those two for sure. But this year, I mean, Lynn, Weir, you, Chaz, Latimer, all just hilarious guys, and you don't stop laughing when you're with them. So those were some funny guys this year for sure.
Now, you talk about being 15, going and being in the room and playing in the dub. What's the kind of that welcome to the WHL moment? I mean, it's probably hard to think about one, but like, what's one where you're like, holy smokes, like I'm playing with these boys and this is real.
Yeah, I know exactly what it was. It was Lethbridge. I played a minute, maybe 30 seconds, and I went dash two. Both my guy, both my fault. And yeah, I did see the guys after that one. So definitely welcome to the league. Definitely a tough one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is a tough one. That's a tough one. But I mean, at least you learn from it, right? Like,
yeah,
try to make
exactly.
that mistake again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely recovered from there now being one of the better two-way players. But do you remember who it was who burned you, or like who were the guys, the assignments you missed?
I think I started. I don't know who it was that scored, but I remember getting wiped on the draw by Jet Jones. It was for two, 3 or 4 in a row that were just ripped back. Like I think it passed the D-man. It was so hard. So that was one guy that was cooking me for sure.
Yeah, so we bring up a tougher hockey memory, which I'll apologize. That's my fault. But you've been really good internationally, and those are memories you'll hold on to forever. But is there something maybe a little bit more specific from your childhood playing hockey that you're just like, yeah, that's one I'll remember forever?
Yeah, I think maybe WHL Cup was a cool one to win. That was, I guess, was a little bit older. When I was younger, I played on a team, BC, and went to Minnesota. It was called like the Show Tournament. Which there's like Ryder Ritchie. That's where I met him initially. Guys like that were there. Max Mercick, Gavin. That was a cool one for sure, and probably one of my first days like elite hockey. So yeah, I'd say that one would be a good one.
Yeah, that's always a fun one when you get to travel with the boys and go stay in hotel rooms
exactly.
with the team and whatnot. And that BC team was absolutely incredible when you guys won WHL Cup. That team has an impressive roster when you look at it now.
We're pretty stacked, yeah.
Yeah. But talking about stacked teams, I mean, the NHL playoffs are on right now. I kind of want to know, we're halfway through, but who do you got winning now?
I mean, my team is the Oil. And I think they're going to win it. Got faith in them, so I'm sticking with them.
Loyal to the Oil. I respect it.
Yeah.
Respect it. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm all for that.
I could go without it, but hey, for you, I'll ride hot with the Oil. That sounds good to me.
I mean, I think that's kind of all the questions that I had, unless Dillon, you've got some more.
I'm pretty out of questions. I think you gave us what we were looking for. So, I mean, if you want to fire something off at us, go right ahead.
Yeah, who's your favorite guy to interview so far?
Oh, that's a tough one.
You're throwing us under the bus here. Oh God!
Yeah.
Wow, that was fun. Okay,
I think I got mine.
funnest guy. I mean, yeah, I think I do too. I think we might be on the same page here.
Okay, other than you, Ollie, of course. I think I gotta go with Carson Bjarnason was probably my favorite interview.
Yeah, that one was good.
Just
I
because
think
he was the first guy that we had that was drafted, and he is one of the most charismatic human
No.
beings I've ever met.
not true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We interviewed Nate.
I thought Barney was before Nate.
I don't think he was.
Oh, well, sorry, Nate. Anyways, Barney
Nate's
was my favorite.
Nate's my favorite because he was the first NHL draftee we did. Wow, that was good. I'm glad we got a question fired right back at us. Totally threw us on our heels.
Is that the first one?
Yeah, that is the first question we've got actually in the interview. That was
I appreciate that. That was good. But
Yeah.
I think I'm good, Luke, unless you got something more here.
no perfect. That's all I got. Thanks for your time, Ollie. This was a pleasure, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Loved it. It was fun.
Folks, that was Mr. Ollie Josephson. But I mean, let's get ahead of this first. We don't think his audio was awesome by any means. We were a little bit laggy, but nonetheless, he was great. I think we got 17 minutes out of him, so he was good. Really fun to talk to. We hope to get to see him in Vegas. We hope he goes down there, and hopefully we get to reconnect with him down the line because he's a good dude. Super. I mean, I hate saying it. It really is the worst, but so down to earth, and it's just so cliche. And I really hate putting it on people, but like he really was, and I really like talking to him. So, Ollie, we hope we get to reconnect sometime down the line. You know, sit down in person. It'll be good. But anyways, Luke, what do we got?
We're moving on to a game that I just dominate at.
Okay.
It's 8-6 in the career path game. Jayce is on the meet. He's got our I'm gonna switch the view here, and he's got our career pass for all the people on YouTube so that I don't have to edit it in. And then after that, and we're gonna hop right into it. But Dillon, do you want to call it? You want me to call the coin?
You're there. Just call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tails.
And
Tails never
it is
fails.
heads.
Ooh. What do you want?
I'm going last.
Give me the rock. Give me the rock, baby. Let's roll.
All right, boys.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, I can see the timer. You got 3 minutes.
I gotta read this here.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is a doozy, folks. So, this guy started his career in 2009-10 with the Nashville Predators, played there for 2 years. Then in 11-12, he went to the Leafs and then was there for a few years until 14-15, where he went back to the Preds in the middle of the season, finished out the season in Nashville, and then in the offseason went to Buffalo for 2 seasons, and then finished off his career in 2017-18 with the Chicago Blackhawks, and then played overseas and in the A a little bit.
I mean,
Yes,
I don't even know where to begin. This guy played from 2009 to 2018. Okay,
Yeah.
and he split between the A in 17-18.
Yeah.
Okay, Leafs maybe and he played in the K. He's got to be a Russian.
Okay.
Kovalev. What's his name? Oh, what's his name? Is it? Oh no, I don't know Russians, man. This is gonna screw me up. Is it Kovalev? Okay,
No.
That's not very kind. I'm not a big fan of the buzzer personally, but whatever. Nashville, holy Toledo. Gotta get Vancouver Giants, maybe. Could that help?
Yeah, Nashville, Toronto, Nashville, Buffalo, Chicago.
He barely spent full seasons with any of these teams.
Oh yeah,
I just know Jayce gave me a goalie.
I've been on that whim too, and it seemingly never works.
It just has to be. Who spends that long in the A as a Russian? Most he's got to be a Russian. No, he's not, because he played in the dub. He can't be Russian. Oh, dude, I'm in a blender. I am in such a blender right now. This is wild to me. Okay, you know what?
Are we dropping?
I've already
points
burned up a minute, and I'm clueless. Like, who's on the Kessel Leafs?
Oh man.
That's not him.
A lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, no kidding. Obviously not him. Is it Joffrey Lupul?
No.
Dang.
Jayce shared me this career path. Or like he told me who it is, and now that I'm looking at the career path, these all blow me away.
All of them?
All of them.
So I'm screwed.
I thought he was on the Preds for his entire career.
He played half a season, if that.
Oh yeah.
On the Preds for his entire career. Yeah, drop me to the... I mean, you already kind of gave me the second hint in the junior teams.
Jayce has.
But-
I mean, I can pull it up, I guess, but
Jayce has it pulled up too.
oh okay.
Give me some second hints. I think what like international play?
That's what you want.
Is there any?
Okay, yeah. He played in the 2007 World Juniors for Canada.
Okay, so he's
He's
Canadian.
Canadian.
On the
You think he's
017. Oh my god, is this the guy? No way. Did we talk about this guy at para hockey? Probably.
I don't think so.
No.
If you talked about this guy, I'd be surprised.
He might have been in the picture, and we might not have known who it was, honestly.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Nashville, Buffalo. You know what? I think I'm running out of time. We're gonna just run right. Like, give me the next one.
He was drafted
Everything.
in
Any hint you can give me. Any hint you can give
He
me.
shoots right. He's from Sicamous, BC. He's 6'5". He was in the 2005 NHL Draft.
Thanks. Anything?
He's a defenseman.
Dude, this is brutal.
His highest point total in the chill was 33 spankers.
That's it? How many games played? I just want to know before I admit defeat.
550.
You're terrible. You're a terrible, terrible human being. That's... Oh, this is devastating. No,
We got 30 seconds.
I might have to forfeit this one. He's Canadian too. Canadian D-man.
A big boy.
He's not a Shen, obviously. Nashville his whole career. Dylan, you're screwing me up, man.
I think I know
Sorry,
him
dude.
from Toronto.
I don't know if Toronto D-men from that age. Are you kidding? I didn't start paying attention to hockey. Like, ugh. Am I gonna be mad when he tells me?
Eh,
Are you done, brother?
Yeah, give it to me.
Your fellow you're looking for is Cody Franzen.
Yep, no, I'm not getting him. Thanks. I feel a lot better about myself. That's okay. I'm fine with that.
All right.
I fully accept that. And you're right, Dylan. I remember him as a Nashville Predator.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
All right,
Oh
it's
my.
my turn. Here we go.
Oh.
Dylan. You want to read it off?
Yeah, but let me read it off first. We got a Med Hat Tiger in the house.
I feel
Anyways,
like mine's way easier. This sucks.
started with Columbus in 2007-2008. Played in Columbus till the 11-12 season, where he was traded to the St. Louis Blues. Stayed there till 2013. Was with the Flames from 13 to 16, where during that season he got traded to the Stars. Then he goes to Edmonton to finish his career in Edmonton from 2016 to 2022.
I was really leaning Yuri Hudler, but that just doesn't make sense.
That is incorrect.
Plus, come on, Dylan, I've already had him.
We already
And I got it right.
Sadly,
Did you? Oh,
Yep.
right.
the first guess.
This is really throwing me off. The whole Edmonton thing I don't love.
I thought you were
Zach Cassian.
Negative. Cassian did not
Okay.
play that much in the show.
I didn't think so. Huh.
Yeah, man. I thought you were a huge Edmonton fan. Didn't they just beat the Kings really, really bad? Jayce, you got a timer going?
Well, I did give you a little bit of a.
Here, I got a timer on here too that I've been watching.
St. Louis, Calgary. It's like this just screams Brian Elliott, but it's not Brian Elliott.
Honestly, that's pretty close. Besides the Columbus Blue Jackets. And
I
such.
know, and that just pisses me off. This has to be a goalie, man. Just has to be.
I'm just gonna start looking at overtime, I guess.
Yeah, Jayce better start looking at overtime. I think we're going to see it today. Right after we say we're supposed to go through this quick.
Luke Gazdic.
Negative. I also don't think he played that long.
Probably not.
That is Luke's
Columbus
favorite
to
guy
St.
Pat.
Louis to Calgary to Dallas. And then to Edmonton for 6 years. This is so frustrating.
I know you kind of gave it to me. I remember him as a Flame and an Oiler.
I figure, well, that's where he played the longest.
Yeah, and the latest in our years, but
Yeah. Take me to the next hint, I guess.
All right, what do we want?
International play, country.
All right. He played in the 2006 and 2007 World Junior Championships for
Okay.
Canada.
He's on the same team as my guy.
Oh, see, I was thinking Steve Mason,
No,
but it's not.
there is no Flyers on that list.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, I'm so stuck on goalie here, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's not a goalie, but at the same time, it has to be.
Oh,
But
Dillon, you're
there's no
so
way.
lost.
Edmonton was on like the goalie carousel for a while, so I don't think it would have been. He wouldn't have been in Edmonton that long if it was a goalie. So get goalie out of your brain. It's not a goalie.
Dillon, you're getting down to crunch time. I'm seeing maybe a minute left.
Yeah,
I know.
Do we want the next hint?
Do you want to go down to one? Try and get a win here?
I guess so. I guess so.
All right, we are looking at a left-handed defenseman from Canada, drafted 67.
Oh, you tell me where you gave me the city.
Oh, I did. All right. From Carolina, Alberta, we have a
Oh.
67 overall in the 2005 draft.
It's no way. It's Chris Russell.
It is the one and only Chris Russell.
It is Chris Russell. I knew I needed to get it on one because I knew that was the hint that was going to give it away.
See, as soon as he said the city, the only reason I knew that is because we talked about it recently. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised you know what that is, to be honest.
No, me and Dillon have talked about it recently and
I
whatnot.
don't
But Jayce,
feel
you want to
great
quit
about
presenting
that
here?
win. That
Pardon?
was a pretty bad win. I got to be honest. I don't feel great about that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a tough one. The sad part is I've thought about using Cody Franzen against you, so I know I've looked at his career path.
Oh, and you've seen it.
Yeah, and I know, and I still didn't get it.
That's heartbreaking. That's
Heartbreaking as someone who should. But anyways, we're trying to keep this episode within a reasonable time range, so let's move on and talk about some other news. Exciting for me and Jayce was me and Jayce just went and checked out one of the prelim games at the Canada Para Hockey Championships. That is electric. It's so cool. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't really watched a lot of it on TV.
Wild.
The bodies were flying. They were, yeah.
Straight contact.
It was insane. They just run into each other. I tried to define what a penalty is because we saw a couple called. No idea. Couldn't tell you. I was just fired up every time someone hit the ice. Just bang, two metal sleds hitting each other and then falling over. Awesome. So electric. Canada's top line was disgusting. And here's the kicker. They won the gold medal versus the States in the final, which means Canada now has gold. Currently holds, before the World Championships are over, because I don't think they're winning this year. But right now we hold the World Championships. We have the U18 World Championships. We have the Hlinka gold medal. We have the Women's World Championships. And now we have para hockey. The big ones that we're missing the World Juniors.
mm-hmm.
And
The
I think that's kind of it. I know, one of the most important ones. But that one and maybe U18. Did the U18 girls win?
No.
I don't think so.
No, they lost to. That was a while ago, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
February or something?
Yeah. Anywho, I think those are the only two we don't have right now. Obviously, that's probably going to change once the World Juniors, or not once the World Juniors, once the World Championships are over. I have very little faith in this Canadian team with Johnny T as their captain. But
Ooh, shade.
no, not shit. Like, Meh.
It's
Also,
shit.
update. It is 2-2 now in the Vancouver-Edmonton game.
Game 4.
No.
Yep. Minute left.
Let's
Minute
go,
left. It is
dude.
2-2.
Yes, dude.
Gotta get soup in. Gotta get soup in the lineup. Anywho,
Where's Connor Unger?
get this man behind. Oh boy, that would be the collapse of all my faith in Edmonton ever winning a cup if that happened. Last little piece of news we want to touch on before we're introducing something new. The men's world championships are on right now. Anything interesting you want to pull out of there, or do you kind of want to wait and cover it?
The Swiss are a wagon.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been good. There's
Nico Hischier.
Yep. Yeah, name the next guy. Good job, Dillon.
Kevin Fiala. The boys. Dude, I'm all about it. You know what's really fun is watching like all the Kings guys produce under a new system at Worlds. And it's like, oh, Kevin Fiala got to be like really, really offensively creative instead of playing a 1-3-1. And then like Kempe's doing crazy stuff. Carl Grunstrom, like a fourth liner, is just producing offensively. And then they put PLD in front of the net. He has a couple goals and a couple assists on the power play. It's like, dude, if you put guys where they're supposed to be and let them kind of do what they want to do, good things happen. It's I know,
wild concept.
Crazy. No, it blows my mind too. I was actually really surprised, but nonetheless, I don't need to talk about any King stuff because the World Championships are on. But I really don't have anything specific to touch on.
Like, I didn't realize how long this tournament was. They play a ton of prelim games.
Yeah. Well, there's like 8 teams in each group. It's ridiculous.
And they play everyone. There's 7 prelim games before.
Yeah. I forgot how big this tournament was.
Me too. I forgot how many teams there were. Fun to see some of those other teams, like Matches off of PA is playing for Poland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he scored Poland's first goal at this level in a long time. Which
that's crazy.
Yeah, hats off to him. That's pretty cool to see a dub guy go out there and do that against some of the best players in the world. Oh, baby, we got 3-1 Edmonton, or 3-2 Edmonton. 38 seconds left.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yep. Yep. Which looks like Bouchard. The Bouch bomb.
How'd they blow that?
I am not too sure. Kind of watching it right now live as it happens.
Bouchard from Dry Settlement King.
Yep, there we go. Okay. Kind of takes us into our new segment, which I'm really excited for.
Well, hold on. Sorry. Just 1 second. I want to shout out the girls. The PWHL playoffs are on. And
oh, yes.
Montreal, or no, was it Boston? No, Montreal. Montreal just booked their ticket to the chip. Or was it Boston?
I'm not even too sure. We're going to talk about this more we're releasing another episode, hopefully.
Sorry. I just wanted to shout out the girls because the inaugural PWHL playoffs are on, so shout out to them. We're gonna get a little bit deeper dive into it next week. So
yeah, but I'm gonna dive into it right when that championship series kind of starts, and we'll take a deep dive into it then. But our new segment that we haven't really talked about yet, we've been pretty excited for. Now that we have a third guy kind of joining the group and the pod, and we got Jayce here, we've introduced a court system to settle debates. So gone is the hot topic of the week. Being replaced with this, it is now time to settle debates, and we have one about this Van Edmonton series. I have made a statement. Or Dillon, as our judge. It's me versus Jayce. Solely versus Hadland. First court, Armchair Warrior Court 2024. Jayce, hop on in there. Dillon's going to explain kind of what's going on.
Jayce, have a seat in your respective side of the courtroom here. So, Jayce, welcome. Well, thank you. Are you wearing a turtleneck, by the way?
Mock neck, but thank you.
Okay, I like it. Way to be classy at court. So, ladies and gentlemen, folks of the jury, we have our very first court case of the year. We have Sully v. Hadland. Now, gentlemen, I hope you prepared some statements. Mr. Sully, can we please calm down a little bit? You and your turtleneck. So, what I want to get into here is Luke has made a statement, and this is going to be a $10 fine for whoever loses this. So, boys, I hope you brought your A game because the pot's going to get big here soon. So lock in. So, Luke's made a statement in the group chat over the last day or so about how Arturs Seelops is the next coming of Patrick Waugh.
That is not what I said. Objection. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. That is not what I said.
Sustained.
Yes.
Now, that's not at all what Luke said, but Luke did touch on how Seelops is essentially having not the same career arc, but he's having the same start to his career as Patrick Waugh did. He's not saying he's like Patrick Waugh, but that's what he's saying. Jayce is arguing otherwise. Boys, I would like for your opening statements. Luke, who's the defendant here, by the way?
I'm the defendant, so Jayce goes first.
Jayce, Mr. Soley, would you please come to the stand and make your first statement?
Do I even need to say more than we're currently trying to compare an absolute sleeper, someone who was drafted in? Let me just look this up because I don't even know off the top of my head. I just want to throw it out there. 156 overall in the 6th round. I don't know, but that sounds like kind of a nobody. I don't care. He's played. He's been a part of 3 seasons with Vancouver, and that is a total of 15 regular season games. I don't think that even compares. I mean, Waugh stepped in. He was drafted in 84, jumps in 84, or 85, I guess, technically, and plays 47 games in the CHL, and just takes on a workload first season.
Okay.
Can I say that he's misquoting?
Mr. Hadley,
he's misquoting his facts.
Can we please not look over the stand at our opponent's facts here?
Can I object, though? Can I object? He's misquoting stats.
How am I misquoting stats? I'm looking at it.
He said he jumped in the year after he got drafted. The 84-85 season, he played 1 game.
He got drafted in 84.
Yeah, and he played 1 game the year after he got drafted.
That would have been the end of the season, the year he got drafted.
Are you listening to this guy? Are you listening to this guy?
Let me look up the day of the draft.
Gentlemen, that's enough. I need an order in the court, please. Order in the court. Luke,
I'll look. Can I make my statement?
No, you can rebuttal and then you make your statement. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm rebuttaling first before he goes. Because he said drafted in 84, played the 84-85 season. He did not. Drafted June of 84, 84-85, played 1 game, started playing games in the 85-86 season as a backup.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to throw out there. Jayce, you can continue with your statement.
All right, sir. If I can intervene here. We're fighting at crumbs here. I'm just going to say that right now. He was Silvos, however you say this guy's name, was drafted in 2019 and didn't even play until the 22-23 season, which was 5 games.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this is applicable. If we even go to any research, which I don't see you with any research, but anyways, that doesn't matter. According to the Bleacher Report, we have Patrick Waugh, #1 all-time NHL goaltender.
Okay. Can I make my statement and appeal to the reasonable folks of the jury?
Mr. Soley, we're going to let Mr. Hadlin go ahead and make his statement.
A couple technicalities here. One, I'd like to start off with the fact that I did not say that Seelops is the next Patrick Waugh. That would be an egregious, outrageous statement that I did not make. I said that what Seelops is doing is Patrick Waugh type playoff stuff at the start of his career. Patrick Waugh was a backup for the Canadiens in his first season, in his first true season. Played as backup, played 47 games. They roll into the playoffs. Starter gets hurt, and he has to step in. He steps in, and he has a good playoff run. Seelops' sample is small. So far, he stepped in, and he's played really good. What are you looking at?
I didn't say anything.
If you got an objection, say it, man. Get out of my face. He's come in, and he's played good. Both of them.
Sorry.
Both of them weren't starters. They come in. They got to step up, and they played.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add to that statement real quick. That 47 games played in the 85 season was actually the starting role. Thank you very much. I'll give the floor back to you.
Was not the starting role in the playoffs. He did not start in the playoffs.
What ground do you have to stand on here?
My dad watched that series, watched those playoffs.
I've made a ruling.
I've realized me making it loosely based off of Tim is kind of a major mistake. But
Gentlemen.
that being said, wrong playoffs. That being said, it's the 86 playoffs when
All
Montreal
right,
won their cup.
gentlemen.
You were talking about the
I
85
think
season.
everybody here in the courtroom has had enough of this. Is there any closing statements either of you would like to make before I make my decision on who is winning and losing?
You have one?
this case?
No, you first.
Okay, I have one. Just that coming in off the bench as a goalie and playing really well it's what Patrick Waugh did in that season. And I think that Vancouver's a good playoff team, and if he's the goalie that comes in and gives them a chance and plays good enough to give them a chance, I think that is Patrick Waugh-esque for first season Patrick Waugh. And I don't think that's an egregious statement.
Okay, thank you.
Which
Mr.
you guys are arguing that it was an egregious statement, and I don't think it was.
Mr. Soley, do you have any closing words for us?
My final statement regarding this trial is going to be 3-2 Edmonton, Game 4, Chokefest. Thank you very much.
Womp womp. That's
Thank
it.
you.
He's
Thank
out.
you. So, folks, I have first and foremost, we're going to start at a 10-point scale, okay? So both of you get 10 points. I will deduct a point for every miscue, mistake, or anything I deem to be invalid in this argument. So first point I'm going to deduct is to Jayce for first and foremost having his client's name not even close to right. So that's going to be 10-9 over to Mr. Hadland early.
That's not a client.
Having my client wrong, that's offensive.
Sorry.
Sorry, I apologize.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Your Honor.
It's going to be 9-9 after Luke led with my dad. So sorry, Tim,
You know what? I thought you were going to say something else. As soon as I said it, I knew it was a mistake. That's my bad. Yep.
That's not gonna fly in the courtroom. That just doesn't hold up as evidence. So we're gonna move over to 9-9. And folks, it's gonna be a tally of 9-8 is the final score. And I just have to pick one of you to deduct this final point, okay? Luke, you comparing Seelovs to Patrick Waugh in any regard is just absolutely sickening. So, Jayce, Mr. Soley, congratulations on winning our first court case.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you,
Hadland,
Your
will
Honor.
be putting a $10 bill into the jar. The pod.
When's it due? I'm kind of between things right now. When's it due?
We don't know what the pot's going to go towards, but nonetheless, there will be.
Yeah, we do. It's all on red. What a silly question.
So yeah, that's going to conclude our first court case, and I'm going to get rid of this stupid voice because the podcast is over. Episode number 15, Mr. Soley here on your screen is going to be here for a long time coming. So feels good to have him behind the camera and on the camera with his turtleneck. It was a good appearance. So without further ado, this one's going to be it for us. Luke's on the editing program here. He's grinding away because he is a man with lots of responsibilities and has a job, and he is making money constantly. So we're giving him the responsibility of editing because he's such a busy guy. So, but yeah, again, we're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where you can find us. Thanks to Ollie again. It was fantastic. And yeah, that's going to be it for this week. And we got lots of content coming soon. So keep a heads up for that. And there's going to be a whirlwind of content for the next month and a half. So again, thank you all for watching and or listening, and we will catch you guys next week.